Hello, hello. Welcome to our channel. Another Saturday, another episode, reaction actually, to Porcupine Tree. I quite enjoyed last week. I wonder what else I'm going to discover this week. We followed most of your comments and recommendations. Thank you so much for it. And I will be listening to Arriving Somewhere But Not Here. I've heard quite a few voices that this is a really good song. What you've told me is to focus mainly on the music, perhaps, rather than lyrics itself. So why is that?
Yeah, we will get to the lyrics for sure after, but I just think the melody and the performance of this song is really musically great. So I hope you will enjoy it actually.
Cool, cool, cool. I am excited. If it's gonna go well, I think we're gonna stick to Porcupine Tree for a bit longer. Have you got something prepared already for me?
Maybe just it's from the album called Dead Wing, and it is one of a few songs from that album that was intended to be a soundtrack for the movie. But I think the movie project failed, and then they decided to include it onto the Porcupine Tree album as just.
Okay.
So I think in the end it's not a soundtrack; it is just music.
Okay, but I'm assuming there will be some kind of a movie feel to it.
We'll see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm ready to start. If you would like to support us, the link to our Patreon will be under the video. As always, thank you so much for continuous support and for being with us throughout this journey.
Yeah. So arriving
Yes.
somewhere but not here.
And I have the lyrics right here.
Okay, so enjoy.
Mm. Oh, I like it already. So nice. So nice.
Never stop the car on a drive in the dark. Never look for the truth in your mother's eyes. Never trust the sound of rain upon a river rushing through your ears. Arriving somewhere, but not here. Did you imagine the final sound as a gun? Or the smashing windscreen of a car? Did you ever imagine the last thing you'd hear as you faded out was a song? Arriving somewhere, but not here. All my designs simplified. And all of my plans compromised. And all of my dreams sacrificed.
Really cool.
Did you see the red mist block your path? Did the scissors cut away to your heart? Did you feel the envy for the sons of mothers tearing you apart? Arriving somewhere, not here.
That's it.
I really, really enjoyed the song. You are right. The construction was really, really interesting, and you could feel like some kind of theme, like a movie track, right? Really interesting, especially this like because I wanted to say that it feels so smooth, but then you had this like really long, like strong accent. If I could change anything in the song, I think it could have been just the very end because there was lack of surprise.
Maybe
And
there.
but then it has its good parts. I mean, its benefits as well. Ending like this,
But
like
it
kind
was
of classical.
it was very energetic, wasn't it? Like especially the harsh part. I've seen you enjoy yourself, but while listening to that, it was like giving you this rhythm, constant rhythm, which was very cool.
Yeah, it was honestly, I really, really enjoyed this song. I definitely would like to hear it again. And I feel like the lyrics are also really interesting. Probably not as deep in the sense that probably there's one main interpretation theme, which we will get to in a moment, but it is like really good song to get you into this contemplation kind of state. So it's and like the music and the musical construct as well, it kind of releases this contemplation and allows you to contemplate properly. So I really enjoyed this, honestly. What are your thoughts about the musical construction?
So I really like this theme, like that melody that was going from the pretty much from the start till the end. I think it's really catchy, but like it gives you this kind of mood. I think what you said, like contemplational mood, but also it just hooks you into the song. I think it's great. I really enjoyed the harsh parts, which there was like three, two very harsh, and one of those three was a little bit less harsh. But all those three harsh parts were really energetic, and I think they were like, even if you were just sitting, you were like actively sitting when listening to that. I think it really energized you. So I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed like the staging of the sound. I don't know if it's correct wording, but that you could hear things like in depth from left and right. There were, especially at the beginning, there was this weird sounds at the
Yes. Yes,
So-
like really kind of movie theme, like from some kind of
yeah,
really
so-
good
and I think
TV series.
I heard things like that throughout the song, like very tasteful, small things that just were very, very
Yeah.
interesting.
Did you say you heard 3 separate strong parts? Because what I heard, at least after first listen, was like 3, like generally 3 kind of different distinguishable parts. First of them was kind of this really kind of smooth and
Yeah,
contemplative. I think that is the word I'm looking for. I think. Then we had this really strong part, which kind of
Yeah.
surprised me, and I didn't expect that it's gonna go back to this contemplation and it's gonna
But only
create such a nice
but only for a second.
fullness, you know.
So after this first harsh part, it went back to the first peaceful part.
But not like what I heard. I heard that we had this very smooth and very distinguishable, very strong part, and then there was kind of a mixture, this third part of
Yeah.
smooth and this strong accent. So that created like really nice
Yeah, and af-
fullness, you know.
and after that, there was this smooth, but I think it was the bass guitar part. And then there was another harsh part, but it wasn't like that distinguishable. It was
Yeah.
better like mixed
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
So
And
to-
then you had like winding down at the end.
yeah, that's how I kind of felt. So like kind of 3 parts that kind of caught my attention and that I could clearly distinguish throughout, and it made like a big nice piece of song. Everything fitted together as well in a nice way. I don't know why I said that I would like to change the end. Then I guess probably only because I kind of it was kind of classical that it's getting less and less intense, and I kind of knew it is going to end. So maybe that's why I said it, because I really enjoyed the whole experience. Let's try to maybe focus on the lyrics now, because I feel like, again, contemplation, that's gonna be my keyword, I think, because
Okay.
that's how the song feels. And I've been thinking from the start what I'm thinking the song may be about. I wasn't sure until the few parts down later on, but I think it's arriving somewhere but not here. I think, by the way, arriving somewhere but not here, this part, I really enjoyed the way it sounded. I feel like that was the best part, and I was kind of waiting for it. After first 2 or 3 of them, I knew that it will be, that this part is going to be sung in this way, and I was kind of waiting for it as well. But coming back to the lyrics, I feel like the song is about being burnt, about someone inexperienced, or I guess everybody has this moment in life where, you think you're not going to get burnt again, yet it happens. You still realize that you've been naive again, in a sense.
Oh, I see. I don't had this specific thoughts. I
Really?
was my first thoughts were suicide, maybe.
Oh, okay. Let's go
But
there.
I don't know. Suicide because did you
Okay.
imagine the final sound as a gun or the smashing windscreen or
Mm-hmm.
of the car? So, did you imagine that the last thing you will hear will be a gun because someone shot you, or windscreen of the car because of the car accident? So that couple of verses told me that it might be
Mm-hmm.
about suicide. And I think the last ones. Did you see the red mist block your path? Did the scissors cut away to your heart? So, yeah, maybe because of those couple of
Mm-hmm.
things.
Maybe. I didn't take it as a suicide, but it definitely, because, like, did you imagine the final sound as a gun? So it almost asking you, did you actually expected this? So somebody actually didn't expect this. That's why we are asking, did you expect this? So not necessarily suicide, but rather the situation where somebody shot you. So kind of a different situation when you got burnt, or maybe you trust somebody, they actually shot you, right? Or you did something you thought you're doing it the best way possible. You didn't listen to your grandma, for example, and you ended up being involved in the car accident. So this kind of type of situations. That's why I felt like it is a scream to this naivety of yours and to the experience that needs to be, or certain perhaps bad situations, like I said, being burnt a few times before you will actually remember not to do it again, or contemplate a bit more on your next action to ensure you're not going to repeat the same mistakes.
Okay,
That's how I took it.
when you said that, and I read those lyrics again, I actually started to getting the same kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there is suicide. Let's but that's the thing. Like, I don't see it really. More of a metaphor, because these are metaphors of really stressful events, something really deep. But I wouldn't necessarily think the actual act of suicide, if that makes sense. Maybe
But
I just don't see it. It's just me.
so, speaking to your interpretation, what would you say arriving somewhere but not here means?
So, again, once you are burned, you tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to repeat the same error. I'm going to new. And yet,
But not really.
yet the further events reveal after a few years, you ended up in the position where you think, I could actually avoid this. I've been burnt once, and yet I did it again, or I trusted somebody. I knew I shouldn't, or perhaps I shouldn't trust that early. So she arrived, or you arrived somewhere, but not there, not where you wanted to really be. That's kind of metaphor I was looking at it from more of, from this perspective. I also Googled, because it actually fits here pretty well, I think, but obviously, please divagate if you disagree. Naive realism in psychology and social psychology. Naive realism is a human tendency to believe that we see the world around us objectively, and that people who disagree with us must be uninformed, irrational, or biased. Naive realism provides a theoretical basis for several other cognitive biases, which are systemic errors when it comes to thinking and making decisions. So that's literally what I think. I guess that the way I took the song this way is obviously based on my own experiences. I'm able to recognize that I've probably got burned so many times, especially since I was a child. I was also quite a stubborn child, right? At one point when I was 13, then 16, then 18, I thought I knew everything, that nothing bad is going to happen. I've been burned so many times, and I thought I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes again. And yet, somewhere there, after a few years or sometimes after a few months, they will keep happening again. And that was this naive realism. Although I've been burned, there's always bigger scope for experience. And the more experience you get, the better chances of avoiding those errors. But you have to realize that the whole life is a learning process. So it's kind of a naive position when you're at some early point in your life and you think, oh, I know now everything. Nothing is going to surprise me. And that's how I took the song.
That's pretty cool. Did you have those thoughts also when listening to that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's literally what I've been thinking, and it kind of put me into this contemplate. Oh, it's really hard for me to say contemplative mood.
I don't even know it's correct.
I may be
I mean,
making,
it
but I
might
think
be.
you know what I mean, right? Please help me out here. But so basically, this type of contemplation on your life, your errors, your mistake, and the process of learning and arriving somewhere but not here. And that's also another. What I've been also thinking of is that at the end of the day, you arrived somewhere, maybe not necessarily where you wanted to be, but you learned something from this error. And that's what you can focus on. And that's what you can build your future experiences on. So this experience.
I think that's actually pretty good thought. And can I add something to
Yeah.
that? Because I think what you just said, this now I think what you just said describes perfectly the title. So if I may just took it in different words and you can say whether you agree or not. So let's say you have a goal and goal will be happening in the future. It never is going to happen right now or in the past. It must be in the future. So if you imagine some kind of timeline, it's going to be to the right of the timeline where you are now. So you have to choose that point, right? Your goal. But you cannot see the future, so it is impossible to ever reach exactly that goal. You're never gonna hit exactly that thing because the context changes, other people you don't have control over, and so on. So you will arrive somewhere, and let's hope it's as close as possible to that goal, but not there exactly. But also, during the reaching that goal, you might just realize that that goal is not correct. You have to replace the place. You have to put that goal somewhere else because you know more things now. You're
Yeah.
closer. So maybe the point is to arrive somewhere, but not necessarily at that goal.
Yeah,
So
I think actually that's how I took the song because I know when I've been saying that I got burned again, that's why I arrived somewhere but not here. That sounds quite negative, but I don't think the song is negative. At least that's not how I took it, and that's no how I felt throughout the whole experience. Also throughout the music, it's actually quite a positive to not the ending point but the starting point to kind of try to build up. Although you may be in not necessarily great situation, you kind of building up, you still arrived somewhere, and that's still opportunity to learn
yeah,
and to build up upon it.
and you improved, and you improve every time. So each time it is a little bit better and better. And maybe it's not perfect, maybe it's not there, but it's somewhere, at least somewhere better, hopefully.
Yeah, and that's the life, isn't it? That's kind of realization that it is a process of learning. You can never be 100% certain that you're not gonna make any more errors, that you've always chosen the best possible way. You can't, and that's the beauty of life, right?
Yeah,
We don't have infinite knowledge. I think that's what I'm trying to say. We basically can't know everything, and we never will.
We should be humble
We are
and
limited.
not assume that we know everything, because I think I've heard something like, when you assume you know everything, you know nothing, basically, right? Because if you are
I know that I know nothing. That was the Socrates, wasn't
no,
it?
but I mean, if you don't have a room to improve because you think you're already there, there's nothing you can improve. But the world is moving all the time, and like you said, the knowledge to gain is infinite. So you have to be humble and you have to admit that you don't know everything, right?
Yeah. And also you have to accept that mistakes can happen and probably will be happening throughout your life. But rather than, making it an end point, just try to build upon it and make it a starting point. The point where you start to kind of getting bigger knowledge, bigger experiences, getting somewhere, not necessarily here, not necessarily where you want to be. So literally, like in the song, it's strange in a sense, because if we will look at this lyrics such as "or the smashing windscreen of the car," like you said, or you imagine the final sound of a gun, or did the scissors cut away to your heart? You think like these are quite negative, like sad type of sentences, yet I didn't took it this way.
Or maybe it is like, did the scissor cut away to your heart? No, so you're not dead, so you can still improve. Maybe this is in this tone.
Yeah, or did you feel the envy for the sons of your mothers tearing you apart? That's, I think, quite a metaphor. I'm not sure how to take it, but I just take it more generally because of it. Again, as some kind of really hard experience. Did you experience? You're gonna experience it in such a strong way that it's gonna touch you so badly. Probably not, but you still got somewhere. You can still learn, and you can still try to process it
I think
and become a
also
better person as a result.
the usage of sons of mothers is to like make your enemy, because they're
Mhm.
tearing him apart, like trying to understand your enemy, that everyone is a human, something like that.
Maybe to kind of understand that's part of the human nature. The humans are not perfect, and our nature is not perfect, and never will be, right?
And they, like, I don't know, that might be very tricky verse, the
And
one
it
with
may be actually really deep as well, but I'm not sure how to understand it any other way. Maybe I'm missing something that may be so easy for somebody else to kind of tackle because I'm so into my, perspective. Did you envy for the sons of mothers turn you? Because it's plural as well. Is it a reference to, the whole kind of generations maybe? Rather than individual, not just your own family, but maybe you look at the history, the kind of tackling the bigger social aspect. But still, I feel like the main message would be somewhere here. Oh my god, I keep
but not here.
repeating the title, but it's just fitting, right? So yeah, maybe we didn't tackle the actual interpretation, but I feel it will be somewhere, even if not here, So yeah, I really, really enjoyed the song. And you know what? I think I want to discover Porcupine Tree properly. I think we can, as long as you're happy for us to proceed, I think I would like to kind of go through at least one full album. I think
So-
that can be quite a journey because it is different. But you know what? I feel a bit of freshness now as well, something I felt I kind of lacked a little bit last week. So I think my kind of brain is getting used to those different sounds. But it was also really enjoyable.
So I think I can propose the album Anesthetize, from which there is this very popular song that was requested the most, I think, from the Porcupine Tree. But there is a live version of the full album, I'm 99% sure, so I think we could do that. There's a couple of great songs on that album, and it's live version. And people in comments mentioned that Porcupine Tree is really good live band, and I totally agree. They have really good live performances, so I think we could do that.
So I've actually seen in the comments that yes, Anesthetize, I think quite a lot of people recommended that. So yeah, I'm more than happy to give you a lead and we can start from next week. But I've also seen actually the comment that said that Porcupine Tree is this type of band. Those live performances are much better than the studio versions. But in all honesty, at the end of the day, I think you can say it about any band, any good band. I feel that, again, Tool, right? Some of their live performances were just absolute 11 out of 10, right? So yeah, I'm gonna leave you kind of free will. I don't have to know until next week whether you would like me to hear the studio version or rather the live. Up to you, but I think I'm quite happy to go for the journey through Anesthetize. It is quite exciting.
Okay, so you don't know, but you really know. So
Yeah. I think I've decided after this song. Last week I wasn't really sure, but I feel like I really want to kind of.
the
I just
trains was
like.
kind of short as well. Like this one was properly complicated, let's say, right? Something more.
Maybe not complicated because the train was also nice in its own sense, but complicated and not complicated. Yes, that's I think the good word. It was It was really nice listen, and again, I really like the mood it put me in. I like the construction, and you know this guitar. I wasn't sure. I thought it sounds like the classic guitar, but then at times I felt it's not, and I couldn't really
There's
tell.
definitely been lots of effects put on the
Mhm.
like mastering of that music. Like you could hear on the voice, there was like this, I don't know how to, like distorted voice, but it was very beautiful voice, but it wasn't 100% natural, wasn't it? There was lots of different effects put on everything, but it was done with such taste, I think, that's really
Yeah.
nice to listen to.
Yeah, and you know this part again, arrive in summer but not here. Oh, I loved it. Oh, I loved the way it sound. It was so nice to my ear that yes, I definitely, I'm sure now I'm ready and I would like to hear Porcupine Tree more. So I hope you enjoyed the reaction. I enjoyed the song. It was really good. I know you like the Porcupine Tree anyway. So yeah, hopefully you're gonna stay with us. And in this case, unless you would like to add something else.
Maybe just welcome new people, because I've noticed in the comments that there are quite a few new people watching, because I think they're more
Yes,
of
of course.
Porcupine Tree fans rather than Tool fans.
So,
So welcome to all of you.
yeah, feel free to join us in discussions. And thank you so much for your support and for listening. See you next week.
Thank you.